In the beginning, God created the heavens and He created the earth. He created every living thing upon the earth. Thousands of years later, along comes myself, Ed Waters, and I created FreeCircle so I could bring you the fireside. We want to bring you truth with integrity, insight that's right, and stories that matter the most today. So climb on in, buckle up, let's take a ride on the fireside. Temptation. Boy, that little thing right there. Temptation. It gets a lot of us. That nagging feeling, that desire, that need, that want. Boy, that feeling of temptation. It's one of my worst. I don't like temptation because it shows you how weak you really are. When you're tempted with those desires, those lusts, those things that you just cannot live without. How do you handle it? What do you do? Where can you turn to get away from these things? It's a daily thing that we deal with, temptation. And I'll tell you, temptation can make you feel so bad because you have these feelings that you can't control. I mean, they're everywhere. Coffee for me. I'm a fanatic for coffee. A good cup of dark roast, rich-bodied, full aroma. Oh, I just can't wait to have that in the morning. That's a temptation. I'll tell you, it's a strong thing that we deal with. Temptation. It comes in so many forms. Donuts. A lot of people, they like donuts. I used to love donuts and candy bars. I remember that temptation. Boy, it's one of those sweets, those taste buds that get your whole mind and body tingling. Gotta have it. Those feelings are very hard to deal with. And it really takes heavy concentration on your part to deal with these temptation feelings. It can sure make you feel disgusting, weak, alone. All that one little thing, temptation, is so big. And to find a way to deal with it, that takes some time, that takes some effort, and it takes a lot of concentration on your part. Temptation is hard to deal with. I struggle with it daily, and I've noticed if I focus my mind on those things, because when you have a temptation, you know, boy, I shouldn't be doing this, or maybe I shouldn't eat this, maybe I shouldn't drink this. Right there, that's a critical control point. And if we can control that point, the next step, we can lose that step. If we can identify that critical control point that makes us leap into that next step. I'm gonna eat that donut. Well, this is the secret right here. You've got to want to stop or not do what you're tempted to do. That's the key here. How do we stop that feeling? Well, first of all, you have to identify that you've got a weakness. Identify the problem. Once you identify that problem, then you can structure yourself to think about it before you do it. And the first little bit of time that you're doing this, it's not easy to do because the temptation always overrules your desire to stop. But if you practice and you focus and you identify every time that you are about to venture into this temptation zone, that's the key right there. Identifying it, and make note every time, boy, I don't want to do this. And pretty soon, that desire overtakes that temptation. It is bizarre, but if you concentrate and tell yourself, I don't want to do this, before you do it, sure, your temptation's going to take over for a little while. But if you structure your mind to identify the problem and then say, I don't want to do this, pretty soon that will, that desire, it overcomes that temptation. It does. Believe that. Get the will within yourself to change. Check yourself inside, and things start changing. Identify your surroundings. You need to structure your surroundings to be positive. Positivity will change your life, my friends. And temptation, that is one of the biggest things. These little feelings that we get throughout our life, there's many of them. Temptation, anger, greed. You know, there's a lot of different things that we can deal with. But temptation, boy, it's a big one. If we can identify our temptations and we can learn to control them, we can take control of our life in a meaningful way. Take our life and be productive. Temptation, it can rule your world. If you do not get control of your temptations, you'll never control who or what you are. So let's identify our weaknesses, our temptations, and start identifying the critical control points that trigger these needs, these wants, these desires, temptation. You're a strong individual if you just take control of your mind. Your mind is one of the biggest problems, I'll tell you. Your mind can play tricks on you. The trick here is you can either be a positive or a negative. And if you can learn to be a positive, all of those negative feelings, they don't go away. The positive just overtakes them. That's the trick here. Don't expect miracles to just, boom, happen. If you expect a miracle, you won't accept little incremental changes that can occur And that's the key. If you want to change yourself, start doing the baby step routine. That's the trick right there, people. Those temptations, you can overcome them one baby step at a time. Identify them, focus on them, and say no to them. The more you say no, the stronger you get. Take control of your life today. Say no to those temptations. You can do it. It's hard. Every day, you've got to do it. That's the trick on dealing with temptations. Good luck, my friends.
And that's it for another FreeCircle podcast. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure you tune in for the next episode, because you never know what kind of edification is going to come your way. Make sure you go over to the website, freecircle.website. There's always informative information there. Check out our new edition, podcast.freecircle.website. That's where you're going to find all of our media content in a centralized area for your enjoyment. Share. Make sure you tell everybody. And until next time, I'm Ed Waters with FreeCircle Podcast. Enjoy your day.